It's time for Norton Blue Jays Sports on Superstar Country 102.5 and Superstar1025.com.
And welcome back here. Getting ready for the second set of this regional, the second match of this regional here at Stoll Gymnasium in Norton, Kansas, as Norton defeats Larned in 2 sets, and it was Lakin over Scott City in 2 sets. Now Norton will be playing Scott City, and Lakin will be playing Larned on the other court.
Yep.
I'm not going to say it was easy, but it was a comfortable win for our girls over Larned.
Yeah, well, Larned struggled, but so did the Blue Jays there for a while. So this will be hopefully similar to where the Blue Jays will just kind of prevail. But Scott City comes into the regional with a 16-18 record, and we went down to Scott City a few weeks ago to their tournament. When the Blue Jays played them, it went to 3 sets, if I remember right, and it could have gone either way. So really this time of year, these teams, looks like Scott City, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seniors on their team. I don't know if all of them play a lot, but they have quite a bit of experience there. And I think
watching them in their match against Lakin, they're tough. They can hit the ball hard. I think as we watch the warm-ups and stuff, one of the things I saw from them is they don't have a Casiana. Some of their digs they struggle with. I don't know if that will relate in game situations, but it just seemed to me that they struggled with the digs.
Yeah. Well, Scott City was down against Lakin. What was it, 9 or 10-0?
9-0,
and then they came back. So that's a testament to their ability as a team to sort of overcome whatever's been happening and make it work. So we'll see what happens. The Blue Jays really got to eliminate some of their mistakes when you get to this level, or that can end badly.
They're continuing their warm-ups. We're about a minute away from the start, so we'll go ahead and hear from some of our Sportscaster Club members.
With unlimited guesses, I bet you still can't name everything available for your farm, vehicle, and more at Roy Sales and Service in Norton. Owners Brian and Kate Fonenstill are proud to serve Norton and the surrounding area. They have interstate batteries, auto parts, oil, welding supplies, DeWalt and Milwaukee power tools, kids' farm toys, farm equipment supplies, and so much more. Come out and see everything at Roy Sales and Service on East Highway 36. You won't believe how much they have for you right here in Norton.
Yep, it's that time of year again. As the seasons change, so does your health and wellness needs. At Moffitt Drug, they've got you covered from head to toe. If you're feeling under the weather, no worries. The friendly pharmacists are there to help you find the perfect remedies for those pesky fall colds and allergies. And don't forget to get your flu shots and essential vitamins to stay in tip-top shape all season long. Remember, your health is their top priority at Moffitt Drug, downtown Norton, where autumn meets wellness.
Welcome back. Well, they are shaking hands at middle court and underneath the net. And they will get one more words of wisdom from their prospective coaches. And the Lady Jays of Norton, the Lady Beavers of Scott City will be ready to begin competition. This is the second match. Like we had said, Norton defeated Larned in the first match. Scott City lost to Lakin in the first match. And now it will be Norton versus Scott City in the second match.
Yep, we got some trivia for you. Do you know where the superintendent for the Scott City is from?
I don't.
He's Jamie Rumford from Norton, Kansas.
Well, good for you, Jamie. I know their longtime wrestling coach came from Oberlin, Mr. Lippelman, who's since retired in the Hall of Fame.
Blue Jays served it over to Scott City, who did a couple junk plays and got it over, hit the floor on the side of the Blue Jays. So now they're Blue Jays down 0-1. Scott City's up. Serve from Scott City. Oh, Casey tried to let it go. She thought it was long, but the line judge called it in.
2-0 in favor of Scott City.
Scott serving. Goes to Kieswetter, kind of short, drop ball. Bina to the outside, long.
That was it.
Yep.
They let it go, and it was in by foot. 2-1 in favor of Scott City, with Norton now serving, and it'd be Miller going back to serve.
So are we guests over there now?
I'm not sure. Yeah, we must be.
Sorry, here we go. Scott City gets it over to the Blue Jays. Cox, bump, set, out to Bina. Bina hits it deep corner, and it's a kill. Audrey's sure swinging hard today. Really taking advantage.
We're home. It's now 2-2.
Okay, 2-2.
We're trying to see which side of the scoreboard we are, and we're the home on the scoreboard. In case you're wondering, at home.
Miller's serve for the Blue Jays, and that was pretty long. Hit the bleachers on the back end.
She buries her face in her hands. 3-2 in favor of Scott City.
Well, if you're going to miss, make it entertaining, right?
There you go.
Yeah. Scott City to serve. Goes to Cox. Clark tries to get it up. Bina.
Yep, wrong side of the antenna.
Yep, outside of the antenna there.
Unforced errors there. 4-2, Scott City. We need to keep it clean against this squad.
Absolutely. Scott City serves. Cox pushes it. Kieswetter keeps it in play. Clark over to Scott City. Pass set outside. Deep cross court. Brooks pops it up. Clark to the middle. David over. Scott City jump set in the middle. David's there to block it back to Scott City. They're going to push it over back to the Blue Jays. Casiana with the pass. Clark with the back set to Bina. Down hard.
Didn't somebody mention to her before the game, hit it hard?
Well, I heard that. Maybe one or two people might have told her that.
One of the few times that she's listened to Mama. Just kidding. 4-3 our score.
Great job by Casey getting a pass where they could set Audrey. Kind of a deep ball. Scott City.
Let it go, and it is out. So it's 4-4. Norton sided up.
The Scott City made the pass there. That was a long serve. They kept it in and then hit it out of bounds on the attack. Bina's still back to serve for the Blue Jays. Getting her location from Coach Murillo. Nice drop ball to the middle. Scott City. So Alexis Davis was in the middle. She blocked it, came down, and instead of bumping it up, she kind of caught the ball with her hand, so they called it a lift. Scott City serving. Kieswetter with the pass to Bina. Bina short set to David. David couldn't. Yep. So it didn't cross the net there.
6-5 Scott City leading, and they're serving.
Cox passes up. Bina has the hustle for it. Clark gets it over.
I don't know how.
Great hustle. Scott City hits it. Miss hit into the net.
What a great hustle for Clark to just get that over diagonal to on the net.
You know that those Clark kids are pretty darn athletic, and she's no exception. Great hustle. Chloe Cox with the serve. Scott City passes it into the net. Point Blue Jays.
Tied up at 6.
Cox serving. Little jump floater. Little movement on that one. Scott City gets it up. Set to the outside. Touched by David. Back to Scott City. Back set. Right side. Nice hit. Casiana couldn't quite get there. That's a tough one. If you don't have blockers to slow that ball down, that's pretty hard for that middle back to get there. But Casey laid out and tried to get it.
Scott City leads 7-6.
Serve. Pass by Kieswetter. Oh, Bina, suspect, set. Scott City bringing it back to the Blue Jays. Casey. Oh, they called Audrey for a lift.
8-6 Scott City.
She had an open hand when she hit the ball, and they called her for a lift. Scott City serving. Goes to Brooks. Pops it up to Bina. Nice quick set in the middle. Back to Brooks.
Kill.
Great job.
Right there.
Great job by Hallie. She makes the pass in the back row, hustles up to do a quick set from Bina, and has the kill. That's outstanding.
7-8 Scott City leading. Kayciana Kieswetter serving.
Serves up, going deep. Scott City pass to the setter, who tries to go quick towards the middle. Miller's there to block it.
Tied at 8. Both matches tied at 8. Lakin just took a 9-8 lead over Larned.
Kieswetter back to serve. Oh, it hits the net. And then the girl couldn't quite get to it. Hit the floor, and a point for the Blue Jays.
Now they lead 9-8. I believe that's their first lead of this set.
Kieswetter. Scott City sets outside. Attack. Kieswetter with another pass. Dina set out to Clark. Goes cross court. Pops it up for Scott City. Set to the outside. Deep. Kieswetter pops it up. Cox steps in. Clark, and again, goes middle to the other side. Going right side set from...
You should call him there.
Yeah, they called it a touch.
Okay.
Yep. The Scott City hit it off the hands of the Blue Jays, and Kieswetter let it go, and then she kind of hit her head like I should have gotten it. That's a lot of quick stuff. Hard to see sometimes. Scott City with the serve. Cox with the pass. Dina gets it up to Clark. Didn't quite get it.
Four hit.
Yep.
Scott City back on top 10-9.
Set was a little to Leah's left, and she couldn't quite get it over. That's a tough angle. Scott City serving.
Out.
Yep, Casey let it go. That's a good call by Casey. She followed it to the line and let it go.
10-10, that's our score.
Clark back to serve for the Blue Jays. Serves up. Hard serve. Ace. Number 4, Metzger for Scott City. A senior. Little miss hit there.
11-10, Norton.
Clark still serving. Ball's up. Goes back to Metzger. To Scott City. To by the net. Dina and Miller were there. Went down on Scott City's side. I think Scott City's coach was wanting over the net, but they didn't call it that way.
12-10, Norton.
Clark serving in, back middle. Pass, set to the right. Miller has a block!
Oh.
She blocked that clear back into the deep corner there on Scott City's side. That was great.
13-10, Norton leading.
Clark still serving, just a sophomore for the Blue Jays. Serves up. Scott City pass to the setter. She's setting outside. Attack. Tries to go cross court. Little too much, out of bounds.
14-10, Norton.
She's trying to get around Brooks and Miller there on their block, and I'd want to get around them too. You'd probably eat that ball for supper. Clark serves. Scott City just kind of trying to get it up over to the Blue Jays. Clark sets back to Brooks. Offhand. And that's a kill for Brooks.
15-10, Norton. Timeout by Scott City. Norton leading 15-10. We'll be right back.
Even if it's been years since you graduated, your college team is your team for life. Well, you can have a Farm Bureau agent for life, and auto, and home, and business insurance. Imagine that. One insurance agent for everything. It's that simple. So get a Farm Bureau agent for life.
Contact me, Joy Johnson, at 785-877-3221.
Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company.
Welcome back. Norton leading Scott City 15-10. They've already defeated Larned in 2 sets. This is the first set against Scott City. They still have Lakin to play in this regional. Right now, Lakin is leading Larned 16-13. Lakin did win their first one as well. Could come up to, and I'm looking far ahead, but it could come up to both Lakin and Norton in the final set, both undefeated if it continues like it is.
Yep. Blue Jays got to finish this one out here against Scott City. They've had quite a bit of momentum their way. Leah Clark serves it, and it's an ace for Leah. Man, that was a tough serve. Nice little jump serve, and that sucker just dropped right away into the short court. 16-10, Norton. Clark still serving. Back to the libero again. Oh, it went over the net, and Dina elevated and hit it down.
She was licking her chops on the way up. Looking forward to that one.
Yep.
17-10 Norton.
There's a smile. That's always good to see. Miller and Dina smiling at each other. A little inside joke. Clark with the serve. Scott City sets it outside. Hit. Brooks takes it back to Scott City. They hit it hard. Leah Clark tries to take it. Went off of her into the bleachers. That was a good hard hit there by Scott City. Nice cross court.
Norton 17, Scott City 11.
Metzger serving for Scott City. Goes to Cox. Kind of miss-hit. Dina has to take it over. Scott City bumps it up. Sets right side. Miller gets some hands on it. Brooks takes the second set. Takes it over. Here's Scott City again with the attack. Casey tries to get it off the ceiling and down.
17-12. Norton continues to lead, and Scott City continuing to serve.
Metzger serving. Dina comes off of her platform into the net. Point, Scott City.
17-13.
Blue Jays really need to get a good pass here so they can set it up. Scott City serves to Casey. Casey gets it in the air. Leah has to try to get it. It goes over their bench into the wall.
17-14. Scott City gaining some momentum this time.
Yeah, the serve receive really needs to step up here. Pass to Casey. There's a good pass to Leah. Leah goes back to Brooks, and that's a kill for Hallie Brooks. She did a great job adjusting there. Leah did a back set to her. It was a little off. She adjusted and still hit it hard, and that's a point.
18-14, Norton serving.
Brooks back to serve for the Blue Jays. Lefty. Scott City tries to do a set to the right side. Clark takes the first one. Caseyana steps up. Dina going to roll it over to the deep. Scott City sets outside. Hard hit. Touch by the Blue Jays. They just have to get it over. There's Dina. Rolls it back over to the other side. And Scott City was in the net.
The official Horace is explaining it all to Scott City's coach, who's not buying it.
Yeah.
19-14, Norton leading.
Brooks serves again to the right side. They're going to set right. Nice hard hit. Clark has to step up. Miller
out
to Cox, and she hit it cross court. Out of bounds.
Norton 19 and Scott City 15. Now Scott City serving.
Gentry, the senior for Scott City, hits it long. Brooks, Clark. Dina has to stand there, goes down the line. They get it up in the air. Set outside. Off the hands of Ellie Miller, out of bounds. Good effort by the Blue Jays. The block is there. They just got to close it up.
Scott City within 3, 19-16.
Good effort. Serve. Pass by Kieswetter. Clark goes behind to Miller. Miller hits it over. Scott City gets it out of the net to a bump set.
In.
Calls it in. It went deep. Howie thought it was going to be out, but it just caught the line.
Just like that, Scott City is back within 2. 19-17.
Set a strategy to break the momentum to give a slow roll back to the setter or the server. Dina with a hit.
They try the block, but it falls down, rides the net to the floor.
Little slow there, so Scott City served it to the Blue Jays. They set Audrey, and it came down on Scott City's side from their block. Miller back to serve. Over to Scott. Set from the middle of the floor. Hit outside, long, out of bounds.
That gives Norton the lead, 20-17, 21-17.
Miller still serving. Ball's up. Middle of the court, off her arms.
Hit the divider.
Yep, ace for Ellie Miller.
20-17, Norton leading. 22-17. I'm going to wipe the ball off.
Yeah.
Got into some liquid or something.
Coach thought there was something on it. Ellie Miller still serving for the Blue Jays, 22-17. Ball's up, back middle. Scott City has the scramble. Get it over down the line. Oh, great effort by the Blue Jays. That was a great job by Scott City. The initial pass wasn't great. They did a bump set to the right side, and she went down the line with a nice hard hit and scored for Scott City. They're serving, goes to Caseyana. Clark set it to David. He hits it over. Scott City gets it up. 3-ball over. Brooke, Clark, quick set to David. They block it back to the Blue Jays. Clark goes behind her to Bina. Just wasn't quite far enough. She hit it into the net.
22-19 is our score. Norton leading and Scott City serving.
Serve. Clark. Sit. Yep. So the pass was a little off for the Blue Jays. Clark's not quite pushing it out far enough for a right-handed hitter, but they'll get it. Casey with a pass to the middle. Clark steps in, goes outside. Brooks from the back row hits it over. Scott City set to the outside. Casey pops it up. Clark off the rafters. Brooks has to step in. Blue Jays got to communicate. Looks like a short, quick set.
That was out on Scott City.
Yep. 6. Yep.
Lakin wins their first set, 25-19.
The floor referee called a touch there.
22-21 Norton. Scott City serving.
Lewis, a senior for Scott City. Still discussing that touch. Scott City serving short. Brooks steps up. Clark steps up to set it. Nice hard hit by Chloe Cox. Over to the Blue Jays. And David was there. There should have been 4 hits. Yeah. You say Scott City got it up. It kind of landed on the net. Norton didn't even touch it, and it came back on Scott City's side, so they called him for 4 hits.
23-21 Norton.
Bina serves for the Blue Jays. Nice hard serve. Scott City just trying to get it over. Oh, it's going to go out, but Audrey went after it. Cox tips it over. Scott City takes it back to the Blue Jays. Caseyana with the pass. Bina sets out Brooks from the back row. Set outside for Scott City, and David blocks it back at him. They're coming at him again. They're going to roll it. Casey gets it up. Bina pushes it out to Cox. Cox hits it over. Scott City blocks it. Now back to the Blue Jays. Quick set. David. Oh, they called her into the net. When she swung, her arm came through and it hit the net. But boy, that's great rally by both teams.
23-22 Norton. Scott City serving. And timeout's going to be called. 23-22. Norton leading. Scott City to serve when we come back.
Rev up your engine and hit the road with confidence. Norton Auto Supply, your CarQuest dealer, is your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs. Whether you're a seasoned mechanic or DIY enthusiast, we've got you covered. From quality replacement parts to essential tools and accessories, Norton Auto Supply has it all for you. The friendly and knowledgeable staff is there to help you find the right parts for your vehicle. Visit your local CarQuest dealer, Norton Auto Supply, today and experience the difference. Norton Auto Supply, keeping you on the road one part at a time.
Welcome back. Norton 23, Scott City 22, and Scott City to serve.
Blue Jays adjusting their serve receive here. Scott City with the serve goes to Brooks. In the middle, Bina goes outside to Clark. Off the block of Scott City. They're pushing it out left. Oh, they call Scott City under the net across the line.
Norton serving for the set.
Chloe Cox back to serve for the Blue Jays. Serves up, long. Oh, that looks like you.
I agree.
I think everyone wearing blue in the building thought that was a double hit.
There's a good block by Scott City.
Yep.
Now the serve comes Scott City serve. 24-23 Norton. Norton trying to get the win, breaking serve.
Served by Scott City. Up and over short. Casey is there. Goes up. Bina, quick set to Hallie. Off the block.
And finally close this thing off of his first set. 25-23. My goodness.
Boy, what a match.
Larned won the first set Lakin won the first set against Larned. And now in the second set, they lead 3-1. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. Be back for the second set against Scott City.
Hey there, listeners. Are you tired of squinting at your screens, struggling with blurry vision, or constantly misplacing your glasses? Well, it's time to see clearly again with the help from Cole Family Eye Care of Norton. Their experienced team provides comprehensive eye exams, personalized eyewear consultations, and the latest in contact lens technology. Plus, they accept most insurance plans. Don't let poor vision hold you back. Schedule your appointment today by calling 877-5115. Rediscover the world with clarity at Cole Family Eye Care of Norton. Your vision is their focus.
In the first round, Norton defeated Larned in 2 sets. Lakin defeated Scott City in 2 sets. Now Lakin is playing Larned. They won the first set, and they lead 4-2 in the second set. And Norton is playing Scott City, and they just eked out the first set, 25-23, and just getting ready to start the second set. Then after that, Norton plays Lakin, and Scott City plays Larned.
Yep, Blue Jays doing a good job hustling. Scott City doing a good job hustling. I can't say there was a whole lot of volleyball skill in some of those plays, but there was a lot of hustle, and the girls are just playing, and that's at this time of year you just have to react like you're used to.
Well, you started this broadcast against Scott City reminding us about how we went 3 sets with this Scott City squad in Scott City tournament.
Right. Yep. So unfortunately that gives Scott City a little confidence that they can beat the Blue Jays, but hopefully the Blue Jays are going to come back with confidence that they can put this away. Served by Scott City. Tough pass by Brooks. Leah tries to get it up. Didn't quite make it, so that's a point for Scott City.
Tough serve to the left side there on the line.
Yep. Another serve. Casey steps up that time. Miller has to step in. Clark pushes it over Scott City. Set outside. Rolled it to the back deep. Kieswetter. Clark. Bina tips it over. And it's a kill.
1-1. Brooks back to serve for Norton.
Coach Maria gives Audrey some tips on where to tip it next time. Brooks serving, goes to the right side. Out of bounds, but they get it back in. Over. Brooks, Miller, Cox hits the top of the net, comes back to the Blue Jays. Audrey pushes it over. Now Scott City has a pass. Clark has to step in. Oh! Well, the ref in the chair said that she pushed it over, but Hallie and Audrey were both swinging, so I'm not sure how you can lift the ball when your hand is swinging, but oh well. Kieswetter, Clark going to the middle. Miller pushes it left. Pass. Kieswetter up to Clark. This tried to pass it over the net short, and it hit the net. So point to Scott City.
3-1, Scott City leading now.
Yep, number 16, Lewis, a senior for Scott City with the serve. Keep hearing a whistle thinking it's our court, but it's not. Clark sets Bina. Bina off hands with the block. They pass it up, going outside by Scott City. Hits it deep. Out of bounds. No touch that time.
3-2, Scott City.
Now Miller back to serve for the Blue Jays, a senior. Number 23. Serves up. Drops short. Oh, man, that came over to Audrey, and she hit it hard, and it went over, but Scott City popped it up. Now Clark's going a quick set to the middle to David.
Out.
Out of bounds by Alexis.
Scott City 4 and Norton 2.
Alexis, she just needs to get going here. She's really come on towards the end of the year, hitting the ball hard. She just needs to get some more attempts. Brooks with the pass. Clark going again. Touch. Should have been a touch that time. Touch. Should have been a...
Now we got a touch call on the other side. The official door horse recognized the touch.
Yeah.
And so it is going to go the point to Norton, and it'd be 3-4 with Scott City leading.
Dina back to serve for the Blue Jays. Clear against the bleachers to get enough room. Oh, hard serve, but it was into the net.
5-3 Scott City.
Kind of a tough place to serve. They have kids standing on the first bleacher and then a camera person sitting on the first bleacher.
That was out for Scott City. Norton gets the ball back, and they trail Scott City 5-4. Chloe Cox to serve.
Cox to serve. She's up. Ball goes to the right. Scott City. Pass set outside. Touch by the Blue Jays. Clark steps in with the pass. Dina back set to Brooks. Brooks hits the middle. Scott City pushes it back. Kieswetter to Bina. Bina going to Brooks, who hits it hard off the hands. Scott City keeps it alive. Back set to the right. Ooh,
nice block.
Clark had a great block there. David and Clark were there, but she timed that just right and had it blocked back into the ground.
5-5 the score.
Great job by Leah. Chloe still serving. Up. Back row. Two people went after it for Scott City. Their setter had to dive for it. Scott City pushes it over. Bina, bump pass. Clark. Scott City. Lift by Scott City setter there. It's a tough pass. She was backpedaling, trying to keep it in play, but they called her for a lift.
6-5. Norton now leading.
Cox still serving. Up and over. Kind of a bad pass by Scott City. Setter has to pass it. They hit it back over. Cox with the pass to Bina. Bina's going quick in the middle. David has to try to hit it with her left hand. Scott City set outside. Touched by Brooks. Bina pops it up. Kieswetter sets it to Clark, who gets it over to Scott City. Scott City. Back row attack. Cox. Oh, and Audrey tried to tip it. Scott has to roll it over. Bina takes it. Hallie usually goes over in two, but miss hit there that time.
Score is 6-6, and now Scott City to serve.
Number 3, Schwartz, he's a senior for Scott City. Little jump serve. Casey on a little miss hit. That you don't see that very often.
7-6 Scott City.
Blue Jays need to take a deep breath here and focus. Starts with a pass. Scott City serving. Cox pops it up. Brooks goes Bina Brooks to Brooks. And it worked.
Yeah, little tip right down the middle. The tip was high enough. I thought they could get to it, but they just kind of got caught flat-footed.
I'd really like to see some more of that on that serve receive, getting Hallie going in the middle. Kieswetter with the serve. Scott City set outside, trying to go down the line. Brooks touched it, tried to drop to keep it alive, but it came down on the Blue Jay side.
8-7 Scott City.
Metzger serving for Scott City. Hard serve. Clark pops it up. Bina goes to the Miller. Miller hits it. Scott City keeping it alive. Going to pass it over to the...
Nobody goes after the ball. 3 girls stand there and watch it to the floor.
Well, that's tough because the ball was kind of coming where the setter is. Audrey's the setter. She transitioned to set, but nobody was behind her to get the ball. That's always kind of tough. Serve by Scott City. Chloe let it go, and they called it out.
Now Scott City leading by 1, 9-8.
Clark with the serve. Scott City gets it up. Audrey was in the net. The ball came up over. She tried to joust and came down, swung her arms and came down on the net.
10-8 Scott City.
Serves by Scott. Kieswetter lets it go, and it's It's long. Point Blue Jays.
9-8. And Brooks back to serve.
Howley serves good. Scott City pops it up. Their setter has to hustle for it. Now they're going to pass it over to the Blue Jays. Kieswetter to Clark. Pushes it out to Bina, who has to push it short. Brooks, what a hustle play. Bina tries to tip it deep. Scott City, bump pass to the left side. Kieswetter, Clark gets it to the middle of the floor. Miller's just taking it over with the pass. Scott City going to set to the right side. Gets it over. Kieswetter again. Clark setting to the right side to Cox, who pushes it over. Scott City set left side. Oh, back to the Blue Jays. Howley goes over in two.
Flat-footed hit on that on the attack.
Yep. So Scott City was wanting a back row attack because she was in front of the 10-foot line, but the ref said she did not get higher than the net, so it was good.
10-10 our score.
Howley with the serve. Scott City set outside. Hits long. Casey gets it in play. Miller tips it over. Scott City gets it out of the net. Back row push. Clark. Kieswetter keeps it alive. Bina pushes it back to the other side. Set middle for Scott City. Bina touches it. Howley back to Audrey, who set it over. Scott City keeping it alive.
Not this time.
Not this time. That's great hustle by Scott City and just didn't quite have enough on that last hit.
That was not a pretty rally there, but we got the point out of it. 11-10, Norton leading.
Yep. Howley still serving. Ooh, nice serve. She's fired up now. We like to see Howley when she gets fired up. She's a competitor.
12-10, Norton.
I don't know if I'd want to be on the receiving end of that high five when she's fired up. Scott City hits it. Bina with the pass. Clark pushing it back out to Bina, who has to just tip it over. They call her in the net. They call Audrey in the net.
12-11, Norton leading. Scott City serving.
Served by Scott City. Casey gets it up. Clark goes behind her to Miller. Miller gets it over. Scott City pushing it outside. Nice deep ball. Casey tries to get it. Tough play there. It came off the hands of Leah Clark, and Casey tried to save it, but couldn't quite get it to it.
Scott City has tied it up 12-all, and they continue to serve.
Brooks, Kieswetter, Cox to serve receive. Goes to Kieswetter. Has a pass to the middle of the floor. Clark goes outside to Cox. Cox hits it over cross court. Right side set from Scott City. Clark takes the first pass. Bina pushes it out to Cox again, who tips it over. Scott City, left side. Hit.
Oh, the block.
No, I think it came down on our side.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, she touched it, but it came down on her side.
13-12, Scott City.
She's been in the net a couple of times and trying to stay off the net, but didn't quite close it. Brooks with the pass. Quick set to Miller. Comes back. Blue Jays pop it up. Nice cross-court hit by Chloe Cox. She's got a great fast arm swing.
And that was right on the line.
That was a great play.
Tied at 13, and Miller will go back to serve for Norton.
Serve by Miller is good. To Scott City, jump set to the right.
Into the net.
Yeah, they tried
Norton
to do a little
point.
quick set behind them and miss hit there.
Now Norton leading 14-13.
Blue Jays need to keep the momentum in their favor. Miller, nice serve, nice hard serve. Scott City keeping it over. Bina pops it up. Clark pushes it over to Scott City. Scott City set left side. Bina blocks it. They can't keep it on their side. It goes out of bounds.
Norton back up 15-13.
Great block by Audrey.
I don't know if Coach Miller's heart can take much more. For real, I should say.
Yeah. Good thing he's young. Miller, good serve. Scott City setting to the right side. Blocked by Alexis David back onto Scott City's side. Point Blue Jays.
16-13 Norton.
Love seeing Alexis getting in on some of these plays. She's so good blocking the ball at the net. Miller serving. Oh.
Hit the wall.
Yep.
That's out.
Scott City couldn't handle that serve.
17-13.
Kind of shanked it off the arm.
Timeout's going to be called by Scott City with Norton leading 17-13. I want to thank our Sportscaster Club members for supporting our broadcast. This is the first year we've done volleyball, and we've had great response for it. If you're just listening, you can actually watch the action as well. If you go to the KQNK Facebook page, there is a link that will get you to Blue Jay Athletics and to the broadcast, and that's where the broadcast is originated. This is a state-sanctioned event, so the radio station cannot broadcast it, but utilizing the school, we can through their with their authorization. So the school allows us through Blue Jay Athletics to broadcast on theirs. So go to KQNK, find the link, and you can watch it as well as listen to it there. That was clear as mud,
That's
right?
clear as mud.
Okay. Norton serving, leading 17-13.
Miller still serving for the Blue Jays. Nice serve. Pops up to the middle. A bump set. Touch by David. Cox dives. Brooks gets it over. Back to Scott City. Another pass set. Pina blocks it. They get it up over to the Blue Jays side. Miscommunication. Dang. Great job by Audrey to get a block back to Scott City, but they did a wonderful job covering. They popped the ball up to the Blue Jay side, and they just didn't talk to cover it. Scott City serves. Brooks with the pass. Clark, short set. David, nice hard hit.
Nice kill there for David. 18-14, Norton leading.
Love to see Alexis get going here. Bina back to serve for the Blue Jays. Clear against the bleachers on the far end. The kids kind of step back. Audrey, nice hard hit. Serve to the middle of the floor. Scott City pushes it across. Brooks, Bina. Brooks gets it over. Quick little jab there. Scott City left side. It never crossed. Yeah.
Norton leading 19-14.
Bina still serving. Jump serve, sorry.
Hey. 20-14.
A lot of movement on that ball there. Audrey serving to the right again. Same girl.
Back-to-back aces.
Yep.
And again, the curveball on that serve.
Yeah. A lot of movement.
21-14 Norton. Timeout again, Scott City. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
What makes Pioneer brand list E3 soybeans different? Pioneer offers proven products and decades worth of expertise to help make growers successful. Clydesdale Agronomy has the expertise and support to help growers successfully adopt this responsible weed control system. Learn more at pioneer.com/enliste3 or contact your local Pioneer sales representative, Randy Clydesdale, at 785-871-7745. Go Blue Jays!
Welcome back. Norton serving, leading 21-14.
To wait for the line judge to get in his place. Audrey with the serve.
Off the rafters.
Yes, ace for Audrey.
Good hard serve to the back line, and they just couldn't control it. Norton now leading 22-14.
Scott City struggling to get a pass here initially to get an attack and get to the Blue Jays. Audrey doing a good job. Another serve. Going to the right. Blue Jays, quick set to David, who goes to the right side. Scott City. Now Blue Jays. That was a nice hard hit by Scott City. Caseyana couldn't quite keep it where it was easy to get a set. Clark hustling after it. Point to Scott City, 22-15. Blue Jays still winning. Scott City with the serve. Bina, quick set to David, who hits it hard. Scott City pops it up. Their pass. Oh. Yep. Kind of a odd hit. I think she had some luck there. Went over on the Blue Jay side.
22-16, Norton leading. And serve is out.
Yep, Scott City serves it long.
23-16, Norton. They did win the first set.
Chloe Cox back to serve for the Blue Jays. Serve is good. Scott City pops it up. Set outside. Oh,
hit into the net.
Yep, missed hit by Scott City.
Norton serving for the match.
Chloe Cox to serve still. Lots of action from the student section right where they're starting to serve. Oh, into the net.
Now Norton going for the service break for the match, leading 24-17.
Scott City serving. Chloe steps up. Audrey quick. Nice quick set to Brooks, and Howie puts it down.
So Norton wins in 2 sets against Scott City, 25-23. Lakin finishes, we win 25-17. Lakin finishes off Larned 25-23. So Norton and Lakin are both 2-0, and they will face each other next in about 10 minutes. So rejoin us in about 10 minutes, and we'll have the call for the match between Lakin and Norton for regional championship. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.